All right, we are live for the behind the scenes of Hot Ones.
At home.
Okay, Teresa, I'm going to get in position. You see, let me know if the framing is good.
Okay. I'm gonna have to move mine up here too. Mine's like way too zoomed in.
Okay.
Like I can't get you guys both in frame. So
That'll be fine.
You're both in frame. You guys are fine.
You couldn't put that on the
No,
head here?
it's just focusing on the sauces.
Well, that's the most important part. Really.
So we're gonna pour out.
Yes. So yeah. That's the first things first. Start pouring out the sauces in order.
So I'll be doing left to right, and we'll be doing right to left.
Is this being used for anything?
Yes, we're starting here.
All right.
We're going there.
All right. Well, in terms of the arrangement of these canisters.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm lining them up, you know. You don't really need much, and they're probably not going to all fit on the board. But okay, here's Cholula #1. And for anyone who's already here, this is the setup. Excuse me. As long as we keep them in order. Get the Cholula. We've got the Sriracha.
Teresa, is airplane mode turned on the iPad Pro?
Let me see.
Because I heard a vibration. I didn't know what it was.
Might be from mine. Well, you can't do can't do it from here because it's recording. Like you need Wi-Fi to send it off to Facebook. So we can't do it.
Right. Okay.
Yeah. It's probably mine.
Okay.
I'll put mine on.
I was just wondering.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So we need to get to the internet.
Okay. All right. #4 sauce. Get a hammock. Cool.
Wait,
I
great.
can see it. We got to see if it shake well before using
Oh. Okay.
this one anyway.
You let me know when you want me to start recording.
Start recording.
Okay.
Everything else is recording.
Yeah.
Right. You were recording.
We're recording
Oh,
all of these, and then once
Should we do the clap?
once everything is recording.
Okay.
Okay, mine's recording now, so
All
if
right.
you want to go
Okay.
on.
All right. So you want to do?
All right.
All right. So on 3.
All right.
1, 2. Let's just do another one for safety. 1, 2.
Oh.
We got it.
We can clap. Thank you. Thank you. Put an applause later.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm looking forward to the gator sauce.
Yeah.
Oh, that smells good. That could take over for the salsa.
Oh man.
That's just Tabasco.
I know.
Oh man, that Tabasco. It's burning my soul.
Well, it hit the back of my nostrils, and I was like,
It's gonna be a long shoot. Tabasco #3 took him down.
mm-hmm.
That's not good.
It's not good at all.
Oh, this is like Los Calientes.
Oh, but you're right. That does smell good.
Doesn't that smell good?
Teresa, come over and smell
No,
this.
you know what? Don't. You can smell it later. You can smell it later.
Oh, is that the Calientes from Hot Ones?
Well, I was talking about the gator hammock.
Oh.
Gator hair smells good.
John was wondering
Oh,
about
I
that.
can't believe you're not smelling it.
How dare you? Can't, man.
I'm trying to watch all this.
Uh-huh. You just keep monitoring. You're doing a fantastic job so far.
Thank you. I'm getting paid for this, right?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Give you a bottle of BCS.
Yeah, you're
There
paid
you
on
Of
go.
my
that.
choosing.
Yeah, and that Dave single from Wendy's that they gave you.
Oh, that's good.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
You guys got all the nugs? You good?
Okay, 6, 7. #7 is Ass in the Tub. And don't worry, I'm shaking these before I open them. So, yeah. Usually on Hot Ones, they're coated. They go at noon, so hopefully the entire, all the East Coast and West Coast are all here. They're all waiting for us.
Here's hoping.
It's open. I forget what I was going to say. Oh, this one's got a trickle.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, usually on hot ones, they coat them. But we are going to be dipping.
Yeah. Which isn't too far off from what they're doing recently when they interview people at their homes.
Yeah, that's true. That's where they. Oh God.
Oh, mom.
Are you feeling it in your nostrils already?
Well,
Does it just smell bad, or does it just smell strong?
I don't know. Well, you opened it. Oh my God, that's good.
Well, I didn't open the lid. I just took off the little thing.
Oh, I thought you already poured yours.
No, I didn't pour my.
Oh yeah. Well, take a whiff of it.
I'm behind you.
Yeah. All right. That's. I guess I'm expecting the worst of it, but.
The first whiff I got was like, it almost smelled like cleaner. Did it smell like that to you?
No, I don't know what it smelled like to me.
It does kind of have the look of something that would like come off of Godzilla.
Mad Dog smells sweet.
Ooh.
I'm sure that's. I'm sure it's gonna be like daisies.
That's to lure you in.
Yeah. They're like daisies coming on my a-hole.
Ooh, too much.
Oh, any you put in, you gotta drink it.
You gotta lick it out.
Okay, we're live. You can still. We're not starting yet.
Yeah, we're
Oh,
not
we're technically we started.
Technically.
Well, we're pouring. So how does that smell?
Interesting. That one smells good. Well, this is the one. This is tailor made by them. The Last Dab, and they said that they wanted to make sure that it was a good tasting one, even though it's lethal. So. Next, the placing of the nugs.
Now, do you guys have milk at the ready, or are you just doing?
We got a pitcher of ice water.
We got a pitcher of ice water, and ice water is not typically recommended, but it's something.
Yeah.
I mean, 'cause I could pour you guys a glass of milk.
You know what?
Well, only when we need it. Like when we ask for it, when we're like, oh, like when we're just starting. Like the Wendy's Frosties are like when things get dangerous.
Yes.
That's like third act.
All right, guys. People are waiting for the nugs, so let's get things.
I know, we're getting prepped. You've never live streamed.
This live stream is all about behind the scenes, showing the whole thing. He's editing this down later. Yeah. Oh, look at the nugs fit just perfectly across the board.
Yeah.
This is the pre-stream, like.
People want to see some pain.
Yeah, and they'll get there. This is going to be like an hour.
Oh, yeah, they're going to get some pain.
This is going to be like an hour-long live stream.
Yeah.
Considering just the lights are making me sweat, this should be interesting.
But God, what great lighting it is.
It is great lighting.
Do you guys have little trash cans by you?
We do.
Okay, perfect.
For any and all eventualities.
All right, so I guess we'll look for the main cam for the wide shot.
Oh no, this would be the main.
That's the main camera.
Yeah.
All right, and you can see me well.
I can, yeah.
Right.
I get like a full body view here, so.
What about me? Am I in it?
Yeah, you're in it. We also got the cameras in there too.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Welcome to this special. Let me try again. So there's a good pause.
Take two.
Take two. Welcome to this special fan-made episode of Hot Ones, the show with hot wings and even hotter questions. I always think that he's gonna say hotter guests. I always think that's the second half.
I was kind of hoping you'd go for that.
Oh well, I want to be authentic to what Sean Evans has established for us. So we're big fans of Hot Ones here at this household, and we decided that we would do our own version. So we got a bunch of the sauces that we've seen on Hot Ones, and said, "Screw it, we're gonna do it here at home." We don't have like traditional wings, but we do have Wendy's chicken nuggets. Not sponsored, by the way, but Wendy's, if you want to.
Wendy's will be bleeped out.
Yeah.
Until we get a sponsorship. 100 grand.
These could be McDonald's.
They could be.
These could be Wendy's. They could be anything.
They could be. It could be any other place that has nuggets.
I'll tweet at them as we go.
But seriously though, Wendy's, if you want to sponsor us. You got it.
All right. Oh, and we're officially started, and I know that I had said earlier, because this is all set up as well, but usually on Hot Ones, they coat them, they coat wings, but for us, and for the home editions, they're doing, they're basically dunking and slathering.
Yes.
So.
And so, just a little bit of background. One of the other reasons we decided to do this is because our father, fairly interesting fellow, he's had quite a year. Beat cancer last year, and since then has been thriving, for lack of a better term.
As much as he can in a lockdown.
Yeah, as much as he can. As the world is burning down, at least Rick Lundeen he's doing fine. So we figured we'd ask some interesting questions.
I prefer to think of it as post-apocalyptic alicious.
Oh,
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Wonderful. So in traditional fashion, we'll dink it and sink it, and then I'll ask the
Dink it and sink it. All right.
and then
Okay.
and then we'll ask the first question.
All right. So I guess starting with the Cholula hot sauce.
Yes, Cholula.
Yeah.
Cue transition graphic.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
Delicious.
Mm-hmm.
That's our guard down.
I feel like I'm in a local diner now.
Mm-hmm. You walk into a local diner with Wendy's you already ordered.
Mm-hmm.
You sat down and you're like, hey, give me that Cholula off the shelf.
Mm-hmm.
So, now, you've said in the past, because I remember we had a conversation about this ages ago, about your two favorite superheroes.
Mm.
One of them, to the surprise of no one, or to the surprise of no one who has been in our basement, is one of them is the Thing.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you've told me that he's one of your favorite superheroes because he maintains like a great sense of humor despite the unfortunate circumstances surrounding, his origin, namely his visage.
Yes.
What aspects of your personality can you relate to in the superheroes that you grew up with?
Well, I think I've thought about this in the past that when I was the first comics I had gotten, one was a Batman comic where his first encounter with Ra's al Ghul, and the Fantastic Four's Thing versus Hulk issue 112, and I think if I'm going to do a deep psychological dive, and I have way too much time on my hands, so I do that sometimes. I think maybe the FF were more important to me, and sometimes because of the family aspect, because my folks had gotten a divorce before I even knew what was going on, and we lived with my grandparents, and I think there was something about the sad look on the Thing's face, because Jack Kirby, the original artist on the FF, would always have him the brow drawn, so it looks like Ben was always sad, and even when he was joking around or mad, he used to always look sad, and I thought that was a very powerful vision. But I think that combined with the whole family aspect, because in a couple of years later, 72, 73, when it was, Reed and Sue, Mr. Fantastic, Invisible Woman, they separated. And that kind of struck a chord because, the folks separating and all that stuff. So, and then on the Batman side, it was, he lost his parents when he was little. And I just wonder if some of those notes didn't resonate with me when I was a little kid, because it's, because I was only like 9 or 10 or whatever when I got those comics. And I think it kind of leaves an impression on you, and it actually made me, whereas most people, they grew up either Marvel or DC, because I started with both of those, a big DC title and a big Marvel title. I've always been both of the mainstream big companies, so I think that may have something to do with that.
How do you feel about, like, of the two live action adaptations of Fantastic Four that we've seen, how do you think that both have handled the Thing?
Well, going back to the Roger Corman one that never got in the '90s, that never got put out, they had a great suit, a great thing suit, very detailed, very well done, good motorized facial muscle. They did a decent job there. The Michael Chiklis ones in the two, like 2005, 2007, they did a good job there. Although they could have done a little bit better as far as like the more pronounced brow. They said there was a lighting issue, but they could have also could have if Fox wasn't being cheap at the time, they could have just had a CGI thing, which I'm sure they would have, and then that Trash Fire in 2015, that FF movie was kind of like Man of Steel. That would have been a very interesting movie if Fox didn't try to like wedge in generic superhero stuff at the end.
Like the classic portal in the sky opening up climax.
Yeah, they tried too hard. So
I remember when every superhero film seemed to be doing that, even like Suicide Squad.
Oh yeah.
If there's a climax, there has to be a portal in the sky and debris flying.
There should be a portal band.
I think so too.
Yeah. All right.
So let's move on to
Sriracha.
number 2, Sriracha.
Yes. Oh yes. Most of these are red. All right. And Sriracha. Now, I'm used to Sriracha quite a bit.
Yeah, we use it quite a bit in this house.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, it goes on tacos. But a couple of these might actually end up being used in the future on tacos because there's some good ones.
Yeah, I'm excited to see which of these are just experimental for this and which ones we actually end up using more often. So, going back to what we mentioned during the intro to the show, so you won a battle against cancer last year, after which you've really, as I said, you seem to be kind of thriving. What with new comics you've written or your blog, which you've been updating once a day for the last year. And you've kind of transformed through this whole fair, as evidenced by your voluptuous curly hair. Would you call this battle with cancer your superhero origin story?
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's just like it's like when you're outside of it, it's like you're seeing it all as one thing. But when you're in the midst of it, it's just kind of like, hey. I go, yeah, sure. That if it took 57 years for me to have an origin story, I mean, hell, if nothing else, having the stem cell transplant, it kind of like reset a few things because a story I've told in the past that when I was in my mid-20s, I had this virus that I don't know what it was, and afterwards, my hair kind of thinned out a bit, not horribly, but it thinned out a little bit, and but then after the stem cell transplant, it came back thicker and much like it was in my 20s. So, a parting gift from cancer to me, which, I think I deserve that. So, I forget, what was the original question?
Well, I was just asking, like, if you consider that, like, your superhero origin story, or if maybe there's, like, another moment in your life that you consider, like, your defining moment as,
I've probably played it safe way too many times. I wouldn't venture into some accidental radioactive thing or something. So, that works for an origin story. Yeah, I didn't get any powers out of it except thicker hair.
Yeah. Well, it could be like a Batman type thing. It's more about like what your spirit gains from the whole affair.
Well, yeah, that's true. I think I used to be a little bit more scared about the whole death aspect and what comes after. But after last year, it's kind of like, just like, whatever. It's kind of like, I'm kind of like, I got another lease on life, so, I'll make payments.
All right.
Okay,
And
so.
now on to number 3.
Well, watch out, it's Tabasco. It's the number 3 one.
We have to remember to cut back to me going, oh! As if it wasn't bad at all.
Yeah.
I actually used Tabasco a lot more recently.
Really?
Yeah, like I don't know, a couple months ago, I just was like, I think around the start of like the quarantine, like we had started conserving, so like, I guess I'll just start having cheese quesadillas more. And
Sure.
I saw because we always have plenty of tortillas.
Any excuse.
And I saw the Tabasco, and I was like, I don't really use Tabasco enough. So I tried it. I was like, oh, it's Tabasco. I like it.
Yeah, it's not bad. I mean, we're still. I mean, the first three especially were the kiddie pool.
Yeah,
Really.
definitely.
Yeah.
Give myself time to chew. Now, we are notably a family of superhero fanatics, and I've obviously grown into loving Batman. And I know that Batman is your other favorite superhero.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious, how much of mine and Teresa's childhood love of superheroes was the result of gentle nudging on your part, and how much of it was us naturally coming to the conclusion that Batman is the best?
Well, I remember, when you were tiny, you always carried around a couple things. You carried around the plush Batman doll, and you carried around the empty milk jug, which means that an empty milk jug was just as important to you as Batman. So, and mind you, I did really put the hard press in you guys to drink milk. So maybe that was on me. I don't know. I used to read Powerpuff Girls to you guys. And that was kind of like a regular thing. We had fun with that. We had little before, just to tire you out and so you could go to sleep. We had like little superhero battles, like in the old Batman series, where we were taking on Batman's Rogues Galleries or whatever, and just wonderful orchestration and choreography of these fights. But yeah, I'm sure I had something to do with it, but you guys seem to take to it pretty easily too.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely still remember watching VHS copies of the Adam West Batman series.
Oh yeah.
Mostly because I love Batman, but also partly because I desperately wanted to find the episodes with Batgirl in it for those moments during the animated intro where their car would stop at an intersection and then Batgirl would drive by on the motorcycle.
Yeah. Showing good traffic policies.
Which I think had an effect on me in terms of my love of recurring characters in series. Like characters that aren't always there every episode, but when they show up, it's like a big thing. Like,
oh yeah,
they're here.
Yeah, it's a nice, a nice surprise. It's always nice.
And I'm happy that your equal love of DC and Marvel ended up kind of rubbing off on us, because I don't feel like I feel like we take sides in certain things, like Star Wars versus Star Trek, but we don't necessarily take sides in DC versus Marvel, because we tend to see the pros and cons of both.
Oh yeah. Sure. They've got great stuff, and they got their problems. So.
All right, so let's go to number 4.
Number 4. This is the gator hammock gator sauce. This is stuff that smells really good.
Yeah.
It's real
Let's
spicy.
hope it tastes good too.
Yeah. Well, that'd be it. Well, this guy won an award.
Really?
Yes, he's not an award. He's in the Hall of Fame.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice.
That's nice.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if it sneaks up on us.
Yeah. Right now, my friend Doug Huff is like, "Where's the pain? Where's the pain?" Don't worry, Douglas. We're still in the first half, evidently. But and gator hammock is good. I think of the 4 so far, it's a little bit different, spicy. It's got a nice spice to it.
I'm gonna start moving the ones I've already used so I don't accidentally dip.
That's a good idea. I'm just gonna move mine over here. Yeah, like I said, this guy got into the Hall of Fame because there's a hot sauce Hall of Fame, because sure, there's a Hall of Fame for
Makes
everything.
sense. That's the most American thing I've heard.
Sure. Oh yeah. Question?
You sound like you wrote this.
No.
So, this one is kind of more tangential to some of my interests, but how they intersect with yours. Now, you've gone on record talking about how Hayao Miyazaki's Graveyard of the Fireflies kind of turned you off of anime for a long time. And you're actually not alone in that, because there is a school of thought that it's one of Miyazaki's worst films compared to other films that he's created. However, you have shown a lot of appreciation for the works of older directors like Yoshiaki Kawajiri, such as his work in Batman Gotham Knight with the Deadshot short and the film Ninja Scroll. So why do you think that these older, sort of darker, more classic works from like industry legends appeal to you more than a lot of like other stuff?
I think it's the style of animation, because there is a more precious version where like the people are a little bit on the cuter side and all that stuff, and that usually influences certain things in the animation, which I'm not a fan of. Whereas the guy who did the Gotham Knights with Deadshot, that animation style has more of a hard edge to it. It's a little bit more visceral, and I like that more. I mean, much like Ninja Scroll. I mean, just a little bit more dynamic and a little bit more hard hitting, and I think I just like that more. I mean, as much as I like the animation in Graveyard of the Fireflies, because I didn't think that was the precious style. Forgive me for not stating it as eloquently as I hoped, because I felt the animation style in Graveyard was very similar to Kiki's Delivery Service, and it was just the story that when you start out with dead kids in a subway station, it's just like and it just goes gloomier from there. I'm not really into the dark, depressing stuff. I mean, dark stuff is one thing, depressing. So,
that really just kind of lets you soak in those types of like more gloomy.
I'm not a fan of that. Not a fan of that.
All right, so let's move on to number 5.
All right, so this one is the first of the Los Calientes. This is the regular Los Calientes. And this one, because now we're getting up there, because we're the Gator Hammock, that's allegedly about 10,000 on the Scoville. We're leaping up to 36,000.
So that's a big jump.
A little bit of a jump.
Hey, Tristan, I'm just wondering, I don't know if you're looking at the chat.
Yeah.
How's audio quality? Are they able to hear us fine?
Someone comment in the chat if you can hear us.
Yeah, how's audio?
Oh yeah, we can see how audio's doing.
Yeah. Because if I need to like speak up more, I will.
Los Calientes.
I'll keep talking.
No.
Oh yeah, it's on a little bit of a delay, but yeah, you're like, it's normal. It sounds good.
Wow. That is sweet.
It is.
It's very sweet.
I know.
Huh.
Surprising.
How about that? But that's 36,000 Scoville,
Yeah.
which means it's gonna hit us.
It's
soon.
it's gonna hit us soon. Probably gonna hit. Oh, is it hitting you? How are you feeling?
No, I'm waiting for it. All right, next question.
All right.
I will let you know when something hits me.
All right. Well, I'll probably hit it too.
Yeah.
I'll probably feel it as well.
Yeah.
So you've committed hard in these last couple of months to learning Spanish with the app Duolingo, to the point that you're practically the poster boy for the app's game-like mechanics and how like competitive it's become. Do you think you could comfortably travel to like Mexico or other Spanish-speaking countries? And do you have would you like to do that in the future?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, when we went, when your mother and I went to Italy back in 2005, I think it was, I made a point to learn about around 70 words, just so, the touchstones, so, I could communicate, because I don't like it when anyone comes into a different country and then just assumes that, you don't want to be the ugly American. We get too much of that going on right now.
Yeah.
And they all hate us even more than usual, and just cause in some cases. But yeah, I mean, I feel better when you can make a, you can get by and show them that you make the effort. And I wouldn't mind, at some point in the future, going to maybe Spain or something like that. But of the different languages, the main reason I went for Spanish first was because I took 2 years of it in high school, and I figured that might be a little bit easier train to hop back on.
Right.
And it worked fine. I mean, in fact, my blog today is about how I hit day 125, and I tried to just touch base with Swedish again. And
I remember that when we went on our trip to that park in, what was the name of that park, Teresa? In the park in
Tennessee?
Yeah.
Oh, Pickett State.
Yeah, Pickett State National Park.
Mm-hmm.
So we went there and we were kind of, disconnected from everything.
Yeah.
And then Teresa reminded you that there was such a thing as like what was it called? The what streak? The fire?
Oh, well, I mean, no, I mean, it's a consecutive streak. I mean, you don't want to, because at that point I'd had like, 102 days straight.
Yeah. I just remember you were like, oh, God damn it. If I knew that was the case.
Well, it was not only that, but, I've gotten all the way up to the top league, Diamond League. And, that takes some effort to get up there, because you have to get up like well over 1,000 points and maybe 2,000 to break in, because it's a big competition. But once you're there, as long as you, do a reasonable amount of points, you can stay in that lofty position, which, you want to do that, and, so.
She
But, yeah.
wants to know if you've learned any swear words in Spanish.
No, Duolingo's not going to teach you that, I don't think. Oh, maybe later. I don't know.
Who knows? There might be a special lesson.
Well, wait, who asked that?
Jim.
Oh, Jen. Well, I do know one from watching TV in the past. I'm not going to say it because I don't want to offend anyone in our listening audience.
Right. All right. So now on to the
Okay.
next one, number 6.
This is Las Calientes again, but it's rojo.
Yes.
You like that?
I do like it.
Rojo.
I like that you can roll your R's. I struggle with that.
Oh, you'll get it.
I'll get it eventually.
Oh, you'll get it. This is 49,000. So it's another jump.
I was wondering what the difference was because when I looked on the labels, they didn't necessarily say Rojo on there unless you look at the description.
Yeah, I had to look it up. That's sweet too.
That's also sweet.
Huh.
I like these.
Yeah, those are good. I probably go the gator hammock more than those two, but
Yeah.
now because the next one, ass in the tub, that will be the next one. Ass in the
Great
tub.
name.
Yes, that is the least of all the ass ones because there's ass in the Antarctic, blah 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 blah. So this one's a little bit more nebulous. It's somewhere in between 50,000 and like 125,000 or something like that. So that's a little bit more nebulous. That's going to bridge the gap into the hellish sector.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All right, number 6. So the Marvel Cinematic Universe has taken the world by storm, bringing together superheroes that no one would have ever imagined being on screen together, much less having their own films. However, the MCU films also do make some slight alterations from the stories they're based on to create a tonally consistent shared universe. Why do you think that the MCU is able to get away with making some small changes for the sake of a better overall story, whereas I think other franchises tend to get a lot of criticism for even the slightest change to the source material?
Well, you know what? I think what's that saying? I once said that as long as the quality of the film exceeds the deviation from the source material, I'm good.
Yeah.
I mean, you putting out a quality product, a superior product, that means the world. I mean, that a lot is forgiven if you're, if you do a good movie, you've got a good story, good direction, good stars, good act, you name it. You put out a good product, you're going to be able to forgive a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with that. And plus, like say with Marvel and the whole Infinity Saga, they took from a few different limited series, to put that whole thing together, especially going in Infinity War and Endgame. But again, if these guys know what they're doing and they make certain decisions, even if they change this or that, hey, as long as it's done well, I'm good. So.
Would you say is there like any particularly like big comic story, like big arc that you think would be that you'd be very interested to see how they would adapt in live action?
You know, there really is none that I would say, oh, they should do this or that, because I think you could take. There's so many out there. You could probably take it, and you could. Someone might take a really great storyline and then, screw it up. I mean, Dark Knight Rises. They took Dark Knight Rises. Christopher Nolan took 4 different miniseries and mushed them all together, and to varying results. So you could have a really good storyline in a comic and just do it dirt,
Yeah.
Conversely, you could take a modest story and turn it into like an epic. It all depends. It all depends on who's doing the film.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, ass in the tub.
Ass in the tub.
Everybody, ass in the tub. This is the first one that comes with a medical warning.
Mm. That's a landmark right there. First one to come with a medical warning. That one definitely, it lets you know what's up
Yeah.
right out of the gate.
Yeah.
You know?
Do you want me to get the Frosties out?
Not yet.
Maybe some glasses of milk.
Okay.
I'll get some milk.
All right.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
Maybe
That's,
take a quick pause just with the questions, just for a second, so I can grab
Okay.
it
Yeah,
and
that's
show
fine.
you the cameras.
oh yeah.
Yeah.
Feeling some pain now.
We're in endgame now. I saw a great meme the other day where it was basically right after Captain Marvel got punched like away. It cut back to Doctor. you saw me have to catch it.
Yeah.
It cut to Captain. It cut to it cut to Doctor Strange, and he was like, "Well, there goes our second solution." So I guess we really do only have one hope left.
Teresa's coming with milk soon.
Yeah.
It wasn't bad. I had to open it manually.
It's like I'm hyper producing saliva. There you go. Oh, and in the brandy glasses, I love you.
Here's the port.
I'm going to see how long I can hold off.
I didn't. So, on the topic of the MCU.
Yeah.
So, you've been fairly positive about the whole thing, from beginning to end. So, what superheroes do you think have been severely helped by the success of the MCU? And are there any that you think that have been hurt by the MCU and the way they've been adapted?
By and large, and going all the way back to the first X-Men film, which was Fox, which wasn't even part of the MCU at the time. Quite often, these movies are helping the characters, because I just think back to the first X-Men film. Toad in the comics was always just an utterly useless, stupid character. But you get Darth Maul himself, Ray Park, as the Toad, and suddenly he's kicking all the X-Men's asses.
Yeah.
And and that was so film, whatever. But in the MCU, I think a lot of them. Captain America used to have a reputation for moping about, because Bucky was dead, I'm lonely, I'm a man out of time. And this was in the 60s, when the jump was only 16 years from World War II. But a lot of these guys, Iron Man, Captain America, he really didn't have that much personality. They had some, but the MCU's given everybody like a new depth, a new like Thor. In the Thor films, the Rainbow Bridge. In the comics, it was like this simple little, rainbow bridge drawn to the place in the clouds. But such wonderful realization in the films. I just love the way they did that. I love the way they realized so many of these things. I wish I could think of more examples, but yeah, they've done a wonderful job of realizing so many things. I'd be hard pressed to think of someone they actually did a worse version of, because I think by and large they've added dimensions.
For me, I'd probably say that I've been a bit disappointed with the way they've done Spider-Man.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because I loved him in Homecoming because I thought that it captured a lot of it captured the teen awkwardness of like Peter Parker, or at the very least, it captured the teenage lifestyle of Peter Parker, I think, really well.
Mm.
But I felt like I've said in the past that I just didn't really like Far From Home because I felt nothing when I was watching it, and I was trying to think of why, and I think it was because something about the way that Peter. It never felt like there were a lot of consequences for him doing the things that he did.
Mm.
Like, when I think of Spider-Man, I think that he's the person who will always choose being Spider-Man, even if it means compromising his social life, compromising his relationships. And with the exception of how Far From Home ended, with his with what happened at the end.
Yeah.
I felt like a lot of times across both of the films that he was in, it felt like there was never really like a consequence. Like, oh yeah, you're still welcome to come to this the quiz club and
Well,
stuff.
I think because he had a lot of Stark backup,
But that's another thing. I didn't like that. It felt like across all of his films, all of his appearances, he's always been so tied to Stark.
It's been Marvel team up more than Spider-Man. Which, you know what? Frankly, if it's a toss-up between that or another like Sony picture like Amazing Spider-Man with Garfield, I'm happy they're doing what they're doing. I mean, I loved him in Civil War.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping that, because so far every time he's shown up, it's been more like Marvel team up.
Yeah.
Him and someone else as opposed to him on his own. Hopefully this next one will be just mostly him. Now, before we do the next one, I am going to drink milk before we do the bomb. Because the bomb, that's lethal. A little coating.
Jim says it looks like the heat's kicking in.
It was kicking in, definitely when we started too. I'm already like most of the way. I need I'm taking small sips of milk.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
We're on to the bomb.
Yeah.
Not looking forward to the bomb. The bomb has been universally decried as evil.
Yeah.
Battery acid.
Yeah.
They really sell it.
They really do. Well, also, I think this was the one that I said looked like something that would come off of Godzilla. Like.
They probably could have told me that after I ate it.
I mean, you can see it. All right. Oh, wow.
Oh, shit.
That's venomous. Oh,
Wow.
and it doesn't taste that good either.
No. Mm. Frosty, please.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
I mean, just for the taste.
Yeah, take the one that was in the fridge for him. And by the way, take one of the chocolate ones out of the freezer.
And step on it.
We're eating both of those real soon.
Oh, God. I'm throwing that shit out. Unless anyone wants it.
Oh, God. I get...
Jesus Christ. Well, it lives up to his reputation.
First, can you give me one of the spoons?
Yes, really.
That was one of the ones from the...
Oh, God, that tastes good. Boy, Sean Evans,
Yeah.
who does Hot Ones, when you're doing this from now on, because you're going to die soon, because You've had this how many times? I mean, get a Wendy's vanilla frosty. Shove that in your maw. Oh God, yeah. Shit, yeah. Hey, my eyeballs are sweating. Oh man. Oh.
I told myself at the beginning of this, I need to be like Sean Evans.
Well, I
Think
about it. He's gotta take like a wing of that shit, like every week, sometimes a couple times a week. Ask me a question.
All right, yeah. All right.
Here, yeah, hot ones.
You, fuck.
Hey, your grandmother might be listening.
You've produced quite a few comics yourself over the years, from
Yeah, that was my favorite.
Monkey and the Moon Patrol to So You Want to Be a Supervillain to the highly ambitious and my favorite of your works, 100 Covers of the Battalion.
Oh, thank you.
Are there any particular comics or artists that have inspired your stories and your art style?
Well, now I know how dragons feel when they can spit flame. God damn.
You know, dragons don't poop. They burn up the crap, and then that's their fire breath.
God, now I'm hungry again. The one that pops to mind is, I just came out with the second volume of The Swede, and with The Swede, when I started that with the first volume especially, I based a lot of the art style and the visual aspect of it on stuff that Darwin Cook had done. Wonderful man, rest in peace, he died a few years ago. He was fantastic. He did the DC New Frontier, which takes place in the 50s. And it's a simpler cartoony style, and the coloring is like just a duotone, just like a limited color palette. And but aside from that, I mean, some of the guys who were big influences on me growing up, George Perez, John Byrne to an extent, a few others. Some of these guys. I mean, I think one of the best guys working today is Lee Weeks. He's fantastic style. He's just awesome. Oh, okay.
Let's just take a little bit of a little bit of an intermission.
Jim said that he knew that there'd be swearing. He was excited.
Jim's a dirty birdie.
We're gonna have to dip light for these last two.
Yeah.
And we're not doing the runway like we talked about with the.
You see, I never even considered the runway. When Paul Rudd did that, Paul Rudd probably will die soon because he did the runway. You don't want to. I'm just kidding. I love Paul Rudd.
We all love Paul Rudd.
But he was insane for doing the runway. Oh my God! You don't do the runway. He's the only guy I've ever seen who's done the runway. It's not a good idea to do the runway. No. All right. Aha. Mad Dog 357. Oh, I should have mentioned that the bomb, that piece of crap, that was 135,600 on the Scoville. And this, Mad Dog 357 is 357,000. So that's kind of like allegedly double that.
Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
Happy thoughts, happy thoughts, happy thoughts.
I noticed that when
I feel like I haven't even properly detoxed off of the last one.
Look at this. This is probably not a good idea, but what the hell? Boy, because just chewing the entire time I was chewing that last one, it was kind of like getting hotter as I chewed and tasting worse.
Yeah.
Oh God, it's kind of sweet.
We gotta get through this real quick. All right. So, you want to answer the question before my throat closes up?
Oh, all right. I forgot you're allergic to hot sauce.
Who knows? Since beating cancer, you let your hair grow out more. It happened.
I did let it grow more.
My throat just like said no halfway through that sentence.
Uh-huh.
Since beating cancer, you've let your hair grow out more lush than ever.
Thank you.
How long do you plan to let it grow?
Well,
and would you let Mom straighten it?
well, I could probably straighten it by just running a brush through it. Although, if I run a brush through it, it will double in volume. I mean, she could straighten it, but it wouldn't make much difference. It would just go right back to curly. Oh my God, that is
That is horrible. I hate that.
Yeah, we don't have to. Yeah.
We don't.
Oh God, that's a lasting heat.
Yes, it is.
Thank God for the frost. Wow. Did you already ask the question?
I did. That was the question.
What
We
was
only got one more for the last dab.
What was the question?
The question was about the hair. It was about.
Oh,
Yeah.
No. You just got to remember, it was like 200 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Ah.
You're gonna like the last question.
Will I?
I think you will.
Will I like it more than the last dab?
Well, we'll see.
Enough pain for you, Douglas?
It was incredible.
You know, I don't have to have any 357 anymore.
Yeah. I think everything after. Which was the first one that you said you were going to throw out?
The bomb.
Da Bomb. Then I think we throw from Da Bomb onward. We throw out.
Well, we haven't had the last dab yet.
We have not. But
We're getting some good reactions here. A lot of laughing faces. Jim said, "How about a perm?" I don't think you need
Decipher this, Jim.
you explained that joke to him before.
Yeah. All right.
That's an in-house joke.
We ready? See, you know,
Well, I'm not ready.
I look forward to the last dab because I've heard that even though it's lethal, it tastes good.
Remember, you gotta dab the bottle onto it, though.
Helpful. No, because we're dunking it in there. It's not just coated. We're dunking this. All right, you ready?
Hold on. Just I try to coat as much of my mouth as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And we're gonna have to do the thing where we like stand side by side together against the door and like do the photo shoot.
Sure.
That's, like,
Oh, yeah.
That's later?
pain.
That's later?
Considerably later in the day. Appreciably later.
Appreciably. All right.
It's a word I've been using. I want to go recently. No, I'm gonna blow my nose. I'm gonna take one last hit of Wendy's.
And you know the kicker is, most of these stop recording ages ago.
We're all still good.
Oh, so good, good. Oh God.
Check the
Oh man.
audio recording. Yeah, it's still going. 53
Oh,
minutes
man.
strong.
All right, let's finish it.
Let's finish this shit.
We got to do the before you eat it. You gotta do the. Oh God. Oh, it tastes like half of these. Right.
Okay. You've described moments of pain in your life before, and you frequently put them on a scale.
Okay.
Tell me, where does this awful, willful exposure to suffering fall on that scale?
Compared to, I can't remember what the scale I used.
Well,
That's not good enough to keep.
it's not good enough to keep.
Sorry, Sean.
Because you've talked about moments where, like, moments of pain in your life before. I think, like, especially, like, around the time you were doing chemo, you were explaining, like, moments of pain.
Like gator dog.
Oh yeah, yeah, like the gator dog. I mean, Yeah, the gator dog I think is still might rank as the worst because down in New Orleans, I bought this gator dog at this shop, and these idiots put it in a microwave and nuked it.
Oh God.
So I told you this story.
Mm.
And so, you know, they give it to me, and I bite down on it, and of course, like the end just like explodes, all the juices in my mouth,
Oh God.
and I immediately, my entire mouth and throat went numb because it was like volcanic liquid just exploding in my mouth. It's still worse than this because that, you know how the thing where you burn your mouth and then like a day or so later, you know, like strings are hanging down the roof of your mouth or whatever, like the skin's falling off. This happened in 4 minutes.
Oh man.
And then it was kind of like my body went into shock. And then, I mean, we're in New Orleans, you know. I don't do well with heat, temperature-wise, right? And it was me, Mike, and Jim. We were going to go on this ride, this boat ride through the bayou. And mind you, this is like, you know, 90s and humid. And the gator dog put me in such a condition that I think my body went into shock, and I got the chills.
Oh God.
I was actually, you know, I was actually hiding behind Mike Hidsey as a windbreak. And he's the same guy who was complaining about it being too cold in a restaurant we were in like the day before or day after, and the waitress even says, "Would you like a shawl?" So I mean, you know, and this is the guy I was hiding behind because, you know, it was that. Oh my God, that might have been the worst, and it was concerning because I had no idea. It was a couple days before my taste buds came back.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So that was worse than this. Really, when it comes right down to it, this is just you know, this you know, hot sauce that you know, still has a little burn going with you. But I can't see, you know, I'm going to throw this out. These probably are going to go too. But yeah, that's these last three especially, and probably ass in the tub. Those last four are probably not ones that I would just like sprinkle on top of tacos or something.
Probably not.
And you know, taste wise, you know, I wouldn't say they're like bad. Any of them are bad tasting except for the bomb. That is just like, that's a crime against nature. But
I am glad that we got through 6 before it really started to hurt us, because I feel like a lot of times around like 4 or 5 is when it'll start getting a bit bad.
well, it depends because everyone's got different tolerance levels and all that stuff. I knew that, you know, we'd be getting into iffy territory around the middle, and then I knew it was going to be the you know, nasty area as soon as we hit the bomb. But its reputation is well worth it and precedes it. So, and is that it?
I think that is it.
Just give an outro.
Okay.
I don't remember what they do for an outro. I guess you could promote
Yeah,
where
they
people
do,
can
you know,
follow
this camera, that camera, that camera, that camera. I've got the first 2 volumes of The Swede out on Amazon. You look that up along with my name in the search, and it'll bring you to mine. And on Comixology, where you have digital comics, I still have the 2 books of Mickey and Madge, The Adventures of Mickey and Madge, via Action Lab Comics. And of course, my daily blog, which I'm only doing until the end of the year because it was like I was going to go 12 months straight of a blog a day, and then I could just like just never do it again. Just like I'm going to try to do a full year of letting the hair grow. So far I'm at 8 months, so I think you can notice it's getting there.
Yeah, just a bit, a little bit.
And yeah, so that's about it from me, I think. Oh, and Horse Guy. We can never forget
You can
Horse
never
Guy.
forget Horse Guy.
You know, there's going to be at least a few more, because I did write a song, you know, and there's a couple more cartoons of Horse Guy. And I am going to do Inktober, so my blog each day for October is going to be whatever I've done for Inktober that day. Basically, I'm just really running out the clock in the blogs because I've told all my stories and there's only so many things I got to think about a squirrel dying on Monday. So really, I'm running low. I'm running really low. But that's it for me.
Well, so we got a couple of comments here.
Yeah.
So Tom says that I think a mohawk would be an option for you.
No.
And Jim said, you know, he was really impressed with you guys. He feels like you guys could do a runway. Because I have to say, I'm just speaking from the audience perspective here. The audience wants to.
Hey, thank you, Jim.
Only if we'll only do a runway if. No, actually, I'm not going to make any promises.
All right, good.
You guys handled it pretty well, though.
I think we handled it fairly well. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh, Tom says do a blog about cruising with your parents.
I need more milk.
Maybe.
I already finished off the frosty.
Really?
Yeah.
Look at you.
I needed
That's
that.
not my milk.
Sure.
No, it's still cold.
I feel like you handled it. You were more of the Sean Evans than I was.
Well, I don't know. I sweated. Anything else you want to add to this melange?
I guess I can promote some of my stuff.
No, there you go.
I write reviews of Japanese animation, reviews and analysis of Japanese animation on sakurasunrise.blog. I also am a contributor for animequarterly.com, and yeah, sorry, everything's still hitting me.
It's the Tabasco, isn't it?
And that's pretty much it for like where you can find me.
Oh, and I once in a while I contribute to the Doctor Who Companion, run by a wonderful chap by the name of Philip Bates, and all things Doctor Who. Little known fact, I'm a Doctor Who fan. So, yeah. So, hey, well done, congratulations.
Awesome.
And
I'll be editing this over the next week.
all right, excellent, awesome. Well, that's it for us. See you later. Teresa, if you would end the live stream.
You got
Thank
it.
you, Wendy's.
Thank you. Yes, well, beep. Thank you, bleep.
Unless we're getting sponsored.
That's right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.